welcome to Clinton's Corner. My name is, of course, Clinton John. Thanks for joining me once again. Just before I get into this week's sports news, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. See what you'd like me to cover, if there's anything else. And then also, guys, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button both here on the YouTube channel, and also subscribe to our online magazine, thefairdigest.com. So then straight into it this week, with not much South African stuff to cover except for the test series. Obviously the usual NBA and NFL was in action over the weekend. So here it is, the NBA basketball for you guys. This is the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks, they stay on top of the Eastern Conference. Excuse me. They won their last game, 111-100 over the Orlando Magic. Chris Middleton with 21 points, and the Bucks win this one without Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, that name's still a mouthful. I'm trying to get used to it. Bucks moved to a 29-5 record now, best record in the NBA. Then moving on, second in the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers 117-116. Jimmy Buckets getting 25 points, 9 rebounds and 9 assists. The Heat are now at a 24-8 record. 76ers started the season off greatly. I think they were 5-0 or 6-0, but they've since then flattered to deceive. They're currently sitting 5th or 6th in the Eastern Conference. Then in third place, it is the Boston Celtics. And they lost their last game to the Toronto Raptors, 113-97. Kyle Lowry in this one, 30 points. Serge Ibaka with 10 rebounds. Despite that, the Celtics sit in third place with a 22-8 record. Then the Toronto Raptors came back from that loss. After that win, suffered their own loss as well at the hands of the OKC Thunder. They lost that one 97-98, close game there again, with Gilgeous and Alexander with 32 points, as well as Chris Paul with 11 rebounds and 8 assists. The Raptors now move to a 22-11 record there. Then moving to the Western Conference, the LA Lakers still lead the Western Conference, and they won their last game 108-95 over the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Davis in this one, 23 points. LeBron James with 13 assists. They move to a 26-7 record now in the Western Conference. Then in second place in the Western Conference is the Denver Nuggets. Now they won their last game, 120-115 over the Sacramento Kings. No real notable performance here, but all five starters from the Nuggets got double digits, and I think 2 players off the bench got double digits as well. So another team performance from the Nuggets. You seem to see this a lot with them. Most of their players getting into double digits. This will, stand them in good stead. However, I do think someone needs to step up for the playoffs and be that guy. You tend to find in the playoff series that these role players fade away, and then one guy or 2 guys or 3 guys take over. So they need to identify that before they get to the playoffs for the Nuggets. Then moving on, in third place is the Los Angeles Clippers. Now they lost their last game despite sitting in third place. They don't seem to be too worried about the regular season. They win games that they need to win. They recently got a good win over the Lakers as well. So when they want to show up, they can. But they lost their last game 120-107 to the Jazz. The Utah Jazz started slowly this season, but they seem to be picking up momentum. Derek Mitchell in this one. Derek Mitchell? I don't think it's Derek Mitchell. Anyway, he got 30 points and 9 assists, and the Clippers now fall to a 23-11 record there in the Western Conference. Then the Rockets, they sit in 4th place, and they suffered a loss to the Pelicans, 127-112 in their last game. Brandon Ingram scoring 27 points. The Rockets now also on a 22-11 22 and 11 season. Sorry, the Clippers were 23 and 11. Yeah, so that's why they're ahead of the Rockets, obviously. But two teams that are up and coming are the Jazz and the Pelicans. They both started slowly, but they seem to be finding a bit of chemistry lately. So they might be ones to watch out for the playoffs, especially Utah. They've been there in the playoffs the last 2 seasons, I think, and not really done much. I think this could be Mitchell's time to shine. And then, so obviously with the moving on to some NFL news now. Obviously with the with the playoffs around the corner, well, next week in fact. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into detail of what happened this week, although there is some interesting things that did happen. But let's just move straight into the playoffs, seeing as how we're putting the regular season behind us. So the teams that have a bye into the next round of the playoffs that are missing the wild card round, these teams are the Ravens, the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Green Bay Packers. They all have a bye for the wild card round on the 4th and 5th of January. Now, the wild card round stands like this at the moment. The Texans will face the Bills, the Buffalo Bills. I think this one will be a close game. Both teams have done really well this season. Both teams have decent defense. But if you're talking defense, second in takeaways this season, the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills will have enough for the Texans. Although, overall, since 2002, the Texans are 5-4 against the Bills. So they have the Texans have a slight edge when it comes to head-to-head, but I still would go with the Bills this season. Then the Patriots, they suffered a regular season loss yesterday to the Dolphins again, which means they now have to go through the wild card, which will be the Titans. Now this will be a tough game for Tom Brady and the Patriots and Bill Belichick. The Titans are a really up and coming team. They've done well this season without really. I think they had a slow start, if I'm not mistaken. And although the Patriots lost last week, I think when it comes to experience and when it comes to know-how, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady will get it done. I don't think they've been saving it for the playoffs, because if they were, they would have played better last night and then won their game, so they wouldn't have to go through the wildcard round and what that brings. I must say, of all the potential upsets, this is possibly the one that is going to be most likely, I'd say. So the Patriots do have the wood over the Titans, though. Titans haven't beaten them in the playoffs since 2002, so that doesn't really bode well for the Titans. But anything can happen on the day. Then the Saints will be taking on the Vikings. The Vikings have won the last 2 playoff games versus Saints. There was that controversial game last season, with that pass interference that wasn't called. There'll be no such thing this year where you can actually review that play. So yeah. Saints have obviously the record breaker Drew Brees in great form, and I think he'll be hungry for his second Super Bowl ring. So I think the Saints will get past the Vikings this year. The Vikings just don't look as formidable as they have the last couple of seasons. Then last but not least is the Packers, and they will take on the Seahawks. While the Seahawks beat Green Bay last season, Green Bay have the edge over them in the last 4 seasons, in the regular season that is. But, in their last 5 playoff games, the Seahawks are 3-2 versus Green Bay. And I think the last 2 seasons they've beaten them in the playoffs. However, this should be a great battle of 2 great quarterbacks. Obviously on one side you've got Aaron Rodgers, the Packers, whose offense isn't looking great at the moment, but Aaron Rodgers often finds a way to get it done. Then you've got the Seattle Seahawks with the quarterback who's been equally as brilliant this season in Russell Wilson at sort of the halfway point in the season was probably the MVP, but you know, the amazing season that Lamar Jackson's had has probably taken that away from him. So this could be a great quarterback battle and one to look out for. And then last but not least, obviously, guys, coming home, Proteas, they had a 107-run victory over England. But there will be more on that in the Wild Protea coming up soon. Okay, guys, that is all I have for the sports news this week. Don't forget to join me on Thursday, as I'll be bringing you the first day's reaction. So what I'm going to do from now on is start bringing you reactions from each day in the test match and when South Africa play. You know, I know sometimes it'll be difficult when teams are playing on the same days and stuff, but we'll work out something for that. Yeah, guys, so don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to get your comments in below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have a great new year, and guys, be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. You know, try and always be safe as you can, and I'll see you again on Thursday. Thanks for joining me. Cheers, guys.